Hi guys, it's me again. Can you see how excited I get about this stuff? Okay, so this video will be shorter than the last because I don't have to cover any preliminaries, but let's go ahead and read through item 2 together. Okay, so you will now watch another video. It is of the same event, but this one focuses on a different aspect of the same event. Again, it's very important that we all watch the same one video as we need to be able to point to and make use of the same information in our responses and future assignments when we compare opinions. So I do realize that you may have seen the same a video maybe from a different angle or seen this video even before, but let's refresh our imperfect memories. Let's make sure we all have a common context via a common video, freshly viewed, and constructing our responses. If you have time, as with the other item, you may wish to read the article that is posted further below the video. It is also a short article and can reiterate and reinforce the thinking and information processing you need to do to construct some really good content that we can use for later. But of course, you do get graded for the content now. The questions, so there's so many questions we can ask with this one and the other prompt. So some questions I would like for you to think about as you follow this video are as follows. With whom do you side in the video? Do you agree with the bystanders that the respective officers should have checked Floyd's pulse at the very least? Or do you agree with the respective officers' decision to ignore the bystanders' pleas? Okay, here I probably should have said officer, but there were more than one. But in the video, you're going to see that the bystanders are pleading with, in particular, in that particular video, one of the assisting officers. So again, you click on the link. Make sure you do not block pop-ups, get to the video. Again, the page, I think this source, I think it's the New York Post, that one's a little bit more busy with stuff, so that one's probably gonna take a lot longer to download, but just be patient and you'll get to it. All right, so again, step 2. So you're gonna construct one coherent paragraph as follows. Again, you're constructing arguments. You're going to copy this sentence depending on your point of view if you're able to take a definite stand. And this, by the way, is one of the changes I made. So I reformatted the information for step 2 where I say A means you are ready to take a definite stance. And whereas before I had B up here instead, I made B, are you unable to take a definite stance? So I didn't really reinforce that in the task 1 and the item 1 video. So that's how I kind of reformatted it, but it's still the same options, still the same directions. I just made it easier to follow, you know, the flow of this information and make it more usable. So A is if you're ready to take a definite stance. As you know, you copy a sentence. This one's a little bit different because this one, I have 2 different sentences that are separate from each other. So for this one, you're either going to, if you're ready to take a definite stance, you will copy verbatim every single word. The assisting police officer was morally obligated to check for George Floyd's pulse. In other words, it was wrong. You think it was wrong for that assisting police officer not to check the pulse of George Floyd. Or you can copy this sentence as your first sentence, i.e. your conclusion. You can say it was morally permissible for the assisting police officer to ignore the bystanders' pleas to check George Floyd's pulse. So morally permissible means it would have been okay if he checked his pulse, but it wasn't wrong. It wasn't morally wrong for him to not check George Floyd's pulse. Okay, so obviously you want to give me reasons why you copy one of those sentences. If you're not able to take a definitive stance, of course, you're going to copy this sentence instead, and then you're going to choose either this option or this option. Again, if you choose this option, option B, then you have to completely ignore option, well, you do not do option A. And if you do option A, you do not do option B. If for any of the items that you're working on, you decide to go with this option here, I strongly encourage you each and every time to go back to the initial set of lessons, to the videos where I give, and the examples where I give you templates or things that you could loosely use as templates for constructing your responses for either this part, if you choose this, or but not both this part. So that will help you. That will help remind you of how you can reason things out, what would look like a good answer. And again, you can use my examples as templates or as loose templates. All right, that's all I have for this video. I told you these would be shorter.